Scientific Magazine actually ran a competition here between a couple of researchers who were given the same instructions, the same guidelines, and the same parts. I think one part was missing, but that's always the case, obviously. But at the conclusion of it, they took this picture. The robots here are looking kind of smug because they completed the project in just over 20 minutes, which actually is quite good. I don't know if anyone can beat that. But the bad news for them was that the researchers completed in just under 20 minutes. So they won. And I think if you're to evaluate what AI can do for your business, we really need to get to ground on some better definitions. It seems like the tech hype cycle right now, any new innovation is either AI or blockchain, which, you know, a lot of us know that's not the case, but that's really what the tech cycle is all about. This shot was taken when Keir Dalia, the actor who played the main part, actually realized that his onboard computer, HAL, that controlled everything in the spaceship, had no intention of bringing him home. So I'd like to know what he was thinking about artificial intelligence at this point, but I'm sure it wasn't positive. I think how we distinguish AI from all of the other ways we have to solve problems, there has to be an element of learning in there. If we know how to solve a problem, we can tell the computer how to do it. We can write code, follow these instructions, and you'll get there. If we don't know how to solve the problem, the next best thing we can do is tell the computer how to learn and feed it the data it needs to learn. Even if we know how to solve a problem, it's worth experimenting with sometimes because it might come up with a better answer. To me, it's a technology of interpretation. It helps us interpret data way faster than we could do with pen and paper or Excel spreadsheet. Excel's great, it can do a lot of things. I think it may have some AI built into it, I'm not sure. But nonetheless, this is a better solution. This paper begins with one of those magical sentences. I don't know how many of these have been written in the history of mankind, but probably not many. I propose to consider the question, can machines think? That's the first written documentation of the idea around thought machine. But again, notwithstanding, you can plan a fixed route without the use of AI. Where it really changes is when you try to do traffic. Roads don't move, but traffic is dynamic. If I'm starting out on a 100-kilometer drive, I don't really care what the traffic's like at my destination as I start out. I want to know what it's like, what it's likely to be like en route. You can't predict that stuff. You can't write code to evaluate that. But you can teach the machine how to learn. But it's that subtle change. And I think if there's one thing to me that stands out about AI as a technology, it's that it's invisible. So we all see the phones in our hand. We all see Facebook. We get what Facebook does for us. We might not know there's AI involved in the solution that we're using. And because of that, there's more mystery around it. And there's less knowledge of when it's impacting our lives. But we are already our users, and I'm sure you guys know, but here's a few examples. Hands up if we've got any airline pilots in the room. Okay, any Tesla owners? Anyone seen a Tesla? Okay, good. Does anyone have a smartphone? Yes, works every time. So we have all, at some point, navigated from A to B via C with the help of artificial intelligence. We might not have known it at the time, and frankly, we probably didn't care as long as it got us there as quickly as we could get. All of these things, I think, have in common that there's a lot of data behind them, and sifting through that data with the use of artificial intelligence is much more efficient than having security experts, for example. And it's a lot cheaper than having a room full of security experts. Is anyone a security expert in here? Okay, good. Changes in industry, market, demographics, changes in perception. I think over the last 6 weeks, we've seen a real change in perception of Facebook, for example. Well, what does that mean for the future? Well, what did they announce this week? Delete history, right? How many people wanted that delete history, but they've actually changed as a result of that perception? And then finally, as I said, it's a golden opportunity to get involved. You're surrounded by people who are like-minded here, some of whom are pioneers in this space. Make the best of it this morning. Really enjoy yourself. And I look forward to seeing you later in the morning during the breaks. I hope this has been helpful. All right, thank you.